My name is Phil Fitzgerald. I work with Toray Composite Materials America in Decatur, Alabama. We run 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So if something actually, let's just say for example, a pump breaks down, we immediately have to replace that pump. So when we do a search on the equipment, we can actually bring up not only the equipment drawing, the pump curve, and all the specifications, but it also brings up the electrical wiring diagrams. And this is what's very important. We do a lockout, tag out from a safety standpoint, because when somebody is working on a piece of equipment, you have to get the electrical source out of it. So one thing we can do very fast, and it's on our data card, it actually has, when you search that piece of equipment, it brings up where it's fed from immediately. So that's the one thing that we like it from a safety standpoint. The main reason that we wanted a document management system first, and I was directed from our headquarter office in Japan to go ahead and at least do research and narrow it down to a selection of one or two to see which one would be the best that would fit for us. Synergis and Janet Keyhart contacted a company over in Tupelo, Mississippi called Daybright, and we set up an appointment, but I asked Janet if I could go by myself and not include anybody from Synergis, and she was gracious enough to grant that. So I was amazed that all the different groups that they had over there that were using Synergis and Adept, that would be a good fit for us, not just for engineering, but for future use and future documentation in all the other different departments. That's the main thing that it really selected me. The main type of information that we are trying to gather the information would be the drawings and specifications. I'm actually in the maintenance department, and the reason that we don't have a plant engineering. So in the maintenance, we run 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So if something actually, let's just say for example, a pump breaks down, we immediately have to replace that pump. So when we do a search on the equipment, we can actually bring up not only the equipment drawing, the pump curve, and all the specifications, but it also brings up the electrical wiring diagrams. And this is what's very important. We do a lockout, tag out from a safety standpoint, because when somebody is working on a piece of equipment, you have to get the electrical source out of it. So one thing we can do very fast, and it's on our data card, it actually has, when you search that piece of equipment, it brings up where it's fed from immediately. So that's the one thing that we like it from a safety standpoint, for the safety of the person that's working on the pump. But it also gives you all the information about the pump, if we need to replace it, what kind of pump it was, who was the manufacturing, what's the horsepower. So there's just a lot of information in one quick search, that you can bring up that information. After about a year and a half, when we got it totally up and running very efficiently, I had a meeting with all the different managers that we have at Toray, and so I was introducing it to everybody else in the plant from the managerial standpoint, and quality was one of the first ones that we brought on board. Can we do that? And we had a little demonstration, and the answer was of course yes. And we brought one of the integrators from Synergis himself, spent a whole week with us, setting it up, which was a lot easier and more efficient. And after that, we actually brought in EHS, Environmental Health and Safety, for an MOC process, management of change. And all these organizations, the quality and the EHS, they actually have reports that they have to do, but they also have a lot of audits once or twice a year. And with the Adept system, when we bring up the documentation, it has to meet certain standards, but when you make a change, there has to be a date with that change. So when they bring up the documentation and see the date, we also see the date when we change the drawings, which is very important. So what they're looking for, is do those dates match? And if they don't, we're in trouble. So just from the quality standpoint and from the EHS standpoint, it's the power of the audit. Because the first time the auditor came in, when we had that product going, it took less than half the time for a standard one, because it was much more efficient. And he could see right off the bat that all our dates were matching. So it's very important just from that standpoint. The Adept roadmap for the future, for right now, we are actually Wi-Fiing our entire company. And if someone wants right now, we have to print the drawings out and take them to that person, or they come and get it to us. But since we're Wi-Fiing, one of our future things, and hopefully in the near future, is we will actually have tablets with Adept already on it, and with our search features and data cards. Instead of us printing it out, they will take the tablet to where the problem is, do a search on that equipment, and it will immediately bring up all the information about that. So therefore we're saving time, but we're also saving paper. I love Adept. The support people are incredible. They respond so fast, within 30 minutes most of the time. And it's just the confidence level that I have in all the support people. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Synergis has the best support staff that I have ever been associated with any company.